Here's Jonah Hill's ex sharing text that they had together publicly, which is obviously a very noble thing to do. And many guys, of course, want to date her after she shares texts of her ex with everybody. Here's a text that Jonah sent to her. Plain and simple. If you need surfing with men, boundary-less, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendship with women who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. When you read this, what do you say?
I could not imagine a more reasonable sentiment from a boyfriend. Not only that, but he communicated very, very clearly and very sensitively, I felt. He's essentially saying, this is what I expect in a relationship. You are currently not meeting those standards. If you want to keep going on the way you're going, that's totally fine. People have accused him of being controlling. He is not telling her what to do. He is simply saying, I will not be a part of it. And guess what, women? We are not entitled to have a boyfriend, to have a certain man's time. He is just setting, I thought, very reasonable boundaries. I know in this social media age, it's for some reason controversial to say, hey, you probably shouldn't be posting thirst traps. I would say that, period, but especially if you're in a relationship. So to see people calling Jonah Hill abusive for this, I was really surprised. I was expecting something really juicy, outrageous when I opened the text, and then it's just... Okay.
Lauren, you hit the nail on the head here, is that you're expecting something so much worse than this.
And I was excited for it.
You're like, all right, Jonah's a woman beater. Let's find it.
Yeah.
And even if you look on page 6 of the New York Post, that he's been labeled a misogynist.
Oh, God.
Abusive, actually.
Yeah.
Abusive.
Well, emotional abuse is what it's called.
Yeah.
Here's the actual deal. You hit the nail on the head when you said boundaries. And also another word for boundaries is preferences. And this is the difference between men and women today. Women have no problem, and they are not lambasted or been made fun of or ashamed for when they say that they have preferences. Well, what are the preferences all women want? I want a man that's 6 foot, makes 6 figures. I want him to be nice with my mother. I want him to have puppies. I want him to treat me right. I want him to pay on the first date. I want him to be fun, be outgoing, have a good network. There's a checklist that women want. But when guys are like, here's my checklist. Don't be a hoe.
Put your tits away.
Don't do thirst traps all over the internet. I'd prefer it, preferences, if you don't have a bunch of guy friends that you're hanging out with, and actually just be a respectful person and don't put your shit out there. Oh my God, he's an emotionally abusive person. He's a misogynist.
So
it's such bullshit.
Controlling.
I have a question though. Was she like this before this happened, or all of a sudden she started dating
here's
Pat?
the other part of the text. That's interesting because he says 25.
Okay,
He says,
go ahead.
You're right. We can't do serve social things or develop trust until you consider me and make decisions that give regard to our relationship. I have been vulnerable as possible, and I am telling you, I am needing you to step up to the plate, which you can. I'm sure of it, but these losers don't get your time if you want me. Straight up, it's consideration. I respect your love for surfing, but I respect myself as well. And your love of surfing and being in those situations and lack of awareness are not mutually exclusive. This, by the way, the guy, what a very well-spoken guy.
He seems very emotionally intelligent.
He has an editor and shit.
And I don't think he's acting
actually
here. I think this is him.
This isn't me. I have my own issues that I own. God, I love that. If you want marriage and family, you can't use the 25 card. Step up and cut shit. These people don't get your time or your kindness at the sacrifice of mine.
This guy's,
that seems very emotionally intelligent.
I love Jonah.
He's communicating very clearly.
Yeah. By the way, do you know this is not recent? Do you know that he just had a baby with another woman?
Yeah, well,
a month ago.
In my opinion, that is somewhat of the reason behind the leaked text.
Correct.
Exactly.
So apparently she waited, this woman right here, Sarah BRADY, waited until the new mother of his child, his first child.
Is that the ex?
I believe so.
That's the ex. Well, some people from the LGBTQ community could say that Jonah's shown too much cleavage.
Way too much.
It looks great there, actually.
Is that a pirate ship on
his chest? The point is she waited until the new baby mama had a child out of respect to the woman. Now, you might say, why the fuck are you even putting these texts out there a year later? right, to expose Jonah Hill. In my opinion, she's only exposing herself. Because if she actually made some of these concessions, she could be Jonah Hill's baby mama, wife, whatever. But he found someone that actually was willing to work within his framework and his boundaries, where she's out there just still surfing and being by herself. And this is essentially the problem with modern day women, is they're not even willing to listen to a good guy's requests.
By the way, what Jonah is sharing with her are his non-negotiables. That's all it is.
Correct.
Hey, these are my non-negotiables. If you're cool with it, I'd love to make you my wife. Let's have family together. Let's have kids together. But I'm not compromising here. That's a perfect example of somebody that can reason, talk, deliver his message, but at the same time not compromise his non-negotiables. You got to respect him for it.
The problem is that he's not supposed to have non-negotiables. He's not supposed to have boundaries when it comes to the behavior of his girlfriend, because feminism, she should be able to do whatever she wants.
Whatever she wants,
Whatever
Lauren.
she wants.
He
and
can't have any
everything else.
standards whatsoever.
No,
Take
hell
it or
no.
leave it, buddy.
And I think regarding your question of was she doing this before, there are people who were saying, well, if she was posting these photos before they got into a relationship, he should have known what he was in for. I think that's a good point. I mean, men, if you're at a club, I've been to one once. It was not an enjoyable experience for me. But, if you're looking at a
One
girl,
club in your life?
it was not good. I did not have a good
But you're
time.
saying you've only been to one club in your entire life?
Yeah, and it was for a work event. It was weird. Anyway.
You need to get out more there, Lauren
I'm
Chen.
comfortable
I can't.
with the
I
amounts I
can't.
get out.
Are you 30 yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, gotcha. You're still young.
But thank you. A lot of people online disagree. But
What?
because it's like I'm past 25. That's like,
Oh, your SMV is down the hill, young lady.
Exactly. But if you're a guy and you're looking at a girl at a club and she's dressed provocatively and you like the way she looks, that's fine. You can be attracted to her, but don't be surprised when she's not wife material, because I think for a lot of men, what they're not understanding, and for a lot of women too, is that there's a difference between being interested in someone physically and maybe for a hookup versus an actual long-term relationship. So maybe Jonah Hill wasn't thinking with the right part of his body there when he got into a relationship with her. But also, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect someone to act differently in a relationship than out of a relationship. Like, I don't think that's crazy.
Well, people don't change. I actually had a conversation with a good buddy of mine who's a full-on Orthodox rabbi living in Jerusalem when I was there in Israel, 7 kids. And I'm like, what's up, dude? How? He's like, dude, I'm the same guy. He's like, now I've changed like 10%. I mean, this was a surfer dude, wild party guy, Miami, who had a situation in his life where he needed to make a change. He goes, but I'm still the same person. So maybe you change 5%, 10%, a little bit. People don't do complete 180s. So if he's
Especially not overnight.
for sure.
Yeah.
Arguably ever major life changes. So the point is, if she's this surfer girl that's already doing this, maybe she'll change a little bit. She's not going to completely do a 180 on her complete lifestyle. Just like if I'm like, hey, do you want to go out to a club, Lauren? It's like, maybe you'll go once, but you're not going to go turn into like a party rat.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that.
You think people change exponentially?
No. What do you listen? Yes, dramatic, dude. I changed not 10%, bro. Me at 19 years old versus me at 26 years old. It's not a little bit of change. It's night and day what my habits had to do.
Okay.
It all depends on what life you're if you're sick of the life that you got and you want to move on, which Jonah's going and getting therapy and sitting down with people, figuring out a way to how to live his life. He's being in Hollywood. You probably partied with so many people. God knows what rooms you've been in, with what types of people, with how many women, with what hasn't he experienced. So what happens at one point? Like, dude, I don't want this life. I actually want to have a family. I actually want to have somebody. You can't change 5-10%. You have to change dramatically. And that pain is not easy. So if she doesn't want to give up some of the stuff that she wants, she doesn't have to do it. I remember dating a girl, loved her. Till today, we're very good together. Jennifer's friends with her as well. But I got to a point with her where I said, listen, man, I don't know what we're doing next. Okay, you want to go do Hollywood? I don't want to do Hollywood. I want to go be a businessman. But man, we like each other's company. Everything's good. Here's what I want to do. What's that? I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. Let's go to church together. What? Are you becoming religious? No. All I'm saying is if we're going to take the next step of getting married, I kind of need help. I don't have a manual. And we got to go belong to some kind of a church, something to learn. So that month of me going through that process for her was so dramatic that she didn't want to do it. And for me, I didn't want to live the life that I was living. I made a massive shift in my life, which, by the way, when you do make a massive shift in your life, like for her, she's been the same for a long time from the standpoint of values. When she was the way she was in high school, she's the same as she is today. When she says she hasn't done drugs, she's been to one club, and because of work and all this other stuff, that's probably her entire life for 29 years. That's not the case with me. I woke up and I said, I'm done. The day I woke up and I said I was done, I probably, if I give you a number, I probably lost 20 people in my life overnight. 20 people. My going to Dublin's crew, my going to Garden of Eden crew, my going to Pimps and Hoes crew in Las Vegas, my crew of going to, these, every one of those, Saddle Ranch crew, my, pool, Charles Billiards, every one of those I lost. The girls, I lost all of them because they're like, what are you doing? What happened to you all of a sudden? So some, they're in an upbringing, stable, things are more solid, all this stuff. Some are not. If you do want a dramatic change, like let's just say you want to have a wife and kid, if you truly, like what Vinny's doing right now, I'll give you an idea. Vinny, all of a sudden I'm at church. I'm like, I see Vinny there. I'm like, well, what's Vinny doing there? Okay, that's kind of crazy. And then Vinny gets baptized. This is like 6 weeks. I'm like, well, what is Vinny doing over there? And I go record it from the sound. I'm like, this is the same Vinny? Yeah. You're telling me a story about a girl, with your lips getting swollen, all this. Well, and he's not doing this, and he's not doing that. And then we take him to Bahamas. And I'm like, damn, Vinny's not changed in the last 6 weeks after the Tate visit or whatever. We're on the flight back. He makes a massive decision. Mario's invited him to church. Aaron invited him, all this stuff. Vinny's made a dramatic shift in his lifestyle. Guess what? The people he was kicking it with 8 weeks ago probably don't like him right now.
Nope.
The people he was chilling with, girls like, hey, can I come over at 11 o'clock? Nah, girl, you can't right now.
Yep.
What happened to you? What happened to the old fun Vinny? That's the bullshit you're going to hear. So there's different situations that people have. For some that we live the wild life and we want to make a big change, you have to be ready, like Jonah is, to be able to say, I lost this girl. It's totally fine. You got to make that decision as a man. It's tough to do, so it's not easy, trust me. But your friend that's 10% changed since 7 years old, that's fine. That's not the case with everybody.
I'll say this. When you say it's not the case with everybody, I'll make the case that it's not the case with barely anybody.
Yeah.
Like what you're saying is an anomaly, PBD. How many guys that are gangbang in LA or whatever are like, yep, I made a complete change in my lifestyle. I'm a complete family man now. I've started a business. I'm sorry, you're an anomaly. And respect to you for that. So most people are not making dramatic changes.
I don't think so.
I'll give you an example.
I don't think
If Vinny's going to church now, awesome. Mazel tov,
Right.
amazing. I have not noticed any difference in Vinny. And respect, I mean, it's still the same guy. So here's my point. Your habits might change. Your lifestyle might change.
say personality.
You're just exactly. That's my
Personality
point.
doesn't change.
That's my point.
No, it's not the point.
Your decisions may change, but your personality's not changing.
No.
That's my point.
You can't change your personality.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't change your personality, but you can change who you are.
You can change your decisions and your habits.
Here's the question, though. Is being a hoe a personality or a lifestyle?
Oh, well, say this again?
Is being a hoe a personality or a lifestyle?
Oh, it's a lifestyle, girl.
I also think it's part personality because there are girls that I went to school with in high school and, they weren't at the time doing anything, I don't think. And then, oh, you're pregnant 2 years later out of wedlock. That was not a shock to me, even though the lifestyle they were living at the time wasn't that. But just based on their personalities, I knew that was going to happen. I knew there was going to be trouble.
In 1973, Gallup did a poll, okay, asking what percentage of gays in America were born that way and what percentage of gays in America were gay because of their environment. What do you think the percentage was in Gallup when they said what percentage of gays were gay because of they were born that way? Gallup, this is like 70s.
I would say at that time, most of them would have said, or most people would say it was because they were... Wait, are they asking...
Environment or born?
So this is a nature versus nurture question?
No, they're asking the American people in America, because this
they
Gallup...
would say nurture.
Okay, so nurture...
Hold on, before you give the results, can we all guess on this?
Yeah, I want you to guess.
Okay, go ahead. So just, if you would, just rephrase it one more time.
Okay, so back in late 70s, they did a poll in America asking people who are gay, do you think they were born that way, they were born gay, or because of their environment?
People in the 70s would have said that it was because of their environment.
Okay. Yeah, what do you say it is?
Is it a percentage you're saying?
Yeah.
I would say born 40%, 60% environment.
Okay, check this out.
I'd say 30. I'd say 30.
13% said they were born that way. Today it's 49%. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
During
gotcha.
that time when they said 13% born that way, 50-something% said was because of their environment. So to go back to your question about a hoe, most hoes, their environments affect them a lot. Who you party with, you have to pick up hoe tendencies. There was a famous poet named Ludacris that
Yes.
said it. Right?
Why you think you take a hoe to a
said-
hotel?
He's a great poet.
He's a
Pat.
great poet. A lot of different area codes, right? And
See, Pat don't change. He still quote Ludacris.
Still in there.
But it's
That-
pre-2004, y'all.
but the point is, environment has a big impact. Upbringing has a big impact. People you befriend has a big impact. And a part of it is your own attractiveness to that, which is part of your DNA. But I'm not going to say it's that big of a percentage. You become a hoe. You're not born a hoe. A kid doesn't born and say, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? This is how I'm going to be my entire life.
Yeah.
No, you pick up some of those bad habits. So to go back, some of us may have not had hoe tendencies. Some of us may have had lazy tendencies. Some of us may have had, splurging tendencies. Some of us may have had, smoking weed tendencies or cocaine or ecstasy or special K or whatever you want to talk. So we all had different tendencies. And then some people change dramatically, some don't. But all in all, Jonah Hill, shout out to you, respect, happy. He had a kid a month ago. Congratulations.
Mazel tov.
I'm so freaking happy for that guy.
Yes. Yep.
I am so happy for the life-changing, for what he's doing. And he's a sick, incredible, talented actor himself. Maybe one of the most entertaining ones to watch. And
No
whether he
doubt.
does a serious movie or a funny movie, the guy's a freaking
No doubt.
incredible
Super-
artist.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.